In Matthew chapter 1, we see a wonderful example of an attitude of obedience. As we begin reading in Matthew 1 and 18, it says, "Now the birth of Jesus Christ was as follows. When his mother Mary had been betrothed to Joseph, before they came together, she was found to be with child by the Holy Spirit. And Joseph, her husband, being a righteous man, and not wanting to disgrace her, planned to send her away secretly. But when he had considered this, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, for the child who has been conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit. She will bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. Now all this took place to fulfill what was spoken by the Lord through the prophet. Behold, the virgin shall be with child, and shall bear a son. They shall call his name Emmanuel, which translated means God with us. And Joseph awoke from his sleep, and did as the angel of the Lord commanded him, and took Mary as his wife, but kept her a virgin until she gave birth to a son, and he called his name Jesus." We talk a lot about Mary when we talk about the birth of Christ, but yet here we see a wonderful example out of Joseph of an attitude of obedience. Most of us don't think of obedience as an attitude, but the reality is it is. It's an action. It's what we do. It's what we say. We think of other people when we don't do what we're asked to do, when we don't do what they tell us to do. It's an attitude of disrespect towards them. It's an attitude of not listening towards them. Here, Joseph has this attitude. He had a plan. He had something he was going to do. But in this dream, it says, "But when he considered this, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream." After hearing this, after this dream that came to him, it says here in verse 24, "And Joseph awoke from his sleep, and did as the angel of the Lord commanded him, and took Mary as his wife." He did what he was commanded to do. There's something to be said about an attitude of obedience. Here Joseph did what he was supposed to do. He listened and acted. What about you? Do you listen and do you act? Not only did he do all that the Lord commanded him to do, but it says here he kept her a virgin until she gave birth to a son, and he called his name Jesus. You see, Joseph had an attitude of obedience. Do you have an attitude of obedience? I thank you for taking the time to join me this morning. I pray that you've been blessed by our time together, and I pray that you'll glorify God in all that you do today.